What's up guys, Woo here, back again with another Division 2 video. And this video is a new build, and this build I've been using for the past 2 weeks off and on. When I put this build on, I feel quite dirty, I feel quite filthy, because what you're doing, you're creating so much status effects, so many different types of status effects on this setup. You're talking burn, you're talking bleed, you're talking blind. It's just a little bit crazy, to the point where you do feel like you're going to get nerfed at some point because you are super duper strong. You have seen the gameplay. You've seen how it works in a group. It works very, very well. MVP in terms of damage output, in terms of skill damage, is crazy. You're delivering so many status effects. The NPCs don't know what to do. This build, guys, whether you're in a group or solo, you will really enjoy the benefits of rolling with this. So guys, if you enjoyed this build, you know what to do, thumbs doodle, it helps me, helps the channel, helps the video get a little bit of traction in the old YouTube algorithm. So thumbs doodle, that helps, it really does. And if you're new to the channel, don't forget to drop the woo bomb on the sub button, ding the bell to be notified when I upload my shizzle. Peeps, let's woo this. Guys, this is the build you need to use in PvE. It is crazy. Crazy. The kind of damage output you will get from this, you are consistently spamming effects, and with these effects, it takes NPCs down quicker. It helps your teammates, because that's all that's going to happen with NPCs. They're going to be covered. Whether it be the debuff, which isn't a status effect, may I add, but the debuff from the Pestilence. Then you have the awesome Firestarter Chem Launcher. You have the Hive Stinger, so that is a debuff, that is burn, that is bleed, and you'll get some blind on this build as well. It is crazy. So guys, I'm rolling with Demolitionist. Now, once you set this up, before I carry on, let me just add this. When you set this up, when you test this in PvE, one thing I need to add is you have 3 different options with this build, in my opinion. Now, you could roll with Demolitionist, which what I'm rolling with. And why I'm rolling with that is, one, I love the extra damage from for the Vile Mask, because the more you stack into explosive damage, the better the Vile Mask is. And again, we know that 10% explosive damage from Demolitionist goes a long way, and it helps this setup, and that's for sure. Also, I love the grenade launcher. I feel it's the best specialization weapon in the game, bar none. So I can switch this and blow shit up. And of course, you've got the option whether you've got the frag grenade, or you have, which is bleed, guys, more bleed, or you have the concussion grenade, which deals some nice damage. So you have 2 options. That's why I've opted for Demolitionist on this build. And again, 5% damage to targets that are covered with Demolitionist is also quite nice for teammates. Now, you could roll with Survivalist. Survivalist, again, with that, you're talking an awesome 10% damage for your teammates against enemies under status effects. That's great, and that will help your teammates. I've been running this solo a lot, so I've opted for Demolitionist. But either way, Demolitionist, Survivalist, you can't go wrong. And lastly, you have Technician, which will grant you, 1, that passive skill tier. So you could, again, try and re-roll a piece of skill tier to armor. So you could roll with 913k armor to have a little bit more survivability, and also that 10% skill damage. So you have 2 options with that, and in total you have 3 options where you want to go. There is no wrong answer. Build how you wish. Now with this, again, you can see no offensive, no defensive. It's all 6 skill tiers, 9 skill attributes, 1 defensive attribute and 1 offensive attribute. Now let's go for the build. I'll start with the holster, and I'll start with the gear set. Eclipse Protocol. It is the best gear set for PvE. I love hardwired. I've always been a huge advocate of hardwired in the past, and that was always the strongest gear set. But now it's very situational, and it's only really beneficial with cluster seeker mines. But this gear set works with so many skills that offer, again, a status effect, and with that you're going to really sing and shine in any PvE content, and I mean any PvE content. Legendaries, raid, heroics, you know it. This is the gear set to test out if you're running a skill build. So the 2-piece will grant you 15% status effects. The 3-piece is 15% skill haste and 30% hazard protection. The 4-piece is indirect transmission. Your status effects now spread on kill to all enemies within 15 meters and refresh 50% of the duration. Again, a nice 4-piece talent. Now, once you're building this, guys, what you need to make sure that you are rolling status effects everywhere. Everywhere. So I'll go through the gear set first, just to show you and prove status effects are there on every single attribute. The knee pads, again, exact the same. The gloves, 10% status effects. And finally, the song remains the same. It is 10% status effects with an 11.6% skill haste mod. The backpack has a talent. It is Symptom Aggravator. Applies all damage you deal to status affected targets by 15%. And that's more damage to status affected targets. And with this, guys, trust me, everyone will be under status effects. It's that strong. It's super duper strong on this build. So I like the backpack. The chest piece is good. It is a really good talent, but I've opted for something a little bit different on this setup. Now the mask is the Vile mask, and guys, if you use this already, you know how bloody brilliant it is. Now with this is just sensational, because it's just more damage. And again, a reason why I'm using Demolition is because it'll elevate the damage from the mask. So with this, I have not re-rolled it, so there's, again, a little bit of room for improvement. Again, 0.8%, but who's counting? And 0.5% extra hazard protection. But you can see it's in a really good place, as is. It has 11.5% skill haste mod, because I want my skills back a tad quicker. But that talent, Toxic Delivery. Status effects also apply a damage over time debuff for 10 seconds. Total damage is dealt is equal to 50% of your concussion grenade damage, increased by your status effect attributes. And again, this goes back to me building status effects. The higher the status effect percentage, you know that is simply more damage. Nice. Explosive damage. If you can get it on the build, it will help the Vile mask. It really will. And again, it's one of the reasons why I'm rolling with Demolitionist. Now, what makes this really strong is this chest piece, which is not exactly what I want, but it's close. So I'll deal with this. I'm rolling with a Wyvern wear chest piece. Now, it's 10% skill damage. Critical chance is the first offensive attribute, guys. You know I would prefer status effects, but I can't get it. It is what it is. So if you can get status effects on there, happy days. If not, don't worry about it. 10% skill damage as a utility attribute. Then we have a full 12% skill haste utility mod. Nice, which is great. Brings my skills back quicker. The talent is Trauma. Applies blind to an enemy hit in the head. Cooldown is 30 seconds. That is brilliant, guys. You know, aim for the head, you're going to get that blind. That blind, which is great, which is a status effect. And again, it will amplify the damage. And again, I'll show you in the range very shortly. Shoot an enemy in the chest, which, guys, even the most potato of aims, including mine, can do this. Hit an enemy in the chest, and that's bleed. So no skills happening, no skills, and you are creating status effects on this setup. Blind and bleed is great. Love this. Absolutely love this. It is top draw, guys. Test it. You know, when an enemy is on a status effect, what happens? They're screwed. They are absolutely screwed, and that leaves your teammates to swoop in and take them down quickly and efficiently. So Trauma. Don't sleep on it. Test it. Try it. You will love it on your status effect builds. Let's go for the weapons. The Pestilence, all singing, all dancing. My opinion, the best exotic weapon in the game. Yeah, guys, hit me. Let me know in the comment section. Do you feel this is the best exotic weapon? I feel it is. Now, why so? You can use this on any freaking build. Skill build, tank build, DPS build. You're gonna get so much benefits from this. So many benefits, so many love, and yeah, you know what the Pestilence is. You know what it works. You know what it does. You know how it works. Let me quickly go through it. So the total weapon damage is 65.3k. Wish it was higher, because that would just amplify the damage, but it is what it is. Now with this, Plague of the Outcast. Hits applied debuff, dealing 100% weapon damage over 10 seconds. It stacks up to 50 times. So the key is, if you're rolling with a build like this, what you could do is get some weapon damage on there as well, which will amplify the tick of Plague of the Outcast, that debuff. It will deal more damage. So on a DPS build, you know LMG, Pestilence, rocking and rolling is freaking insane. Whenever an enemy dies with this debuff, all stacks are transferred to an enemy nearby within 25 meters. Again, we know how strong this is, and I'll demonstrate in the range very shortly how powerful the Pestilence is. And paired with the chest piece talent Trauma, yeah, it's good, guys. We'll see it. So in terms of mods, it's simply rate of fire, stability, and accuracy, and they are fixed because it's an exotic weapon. Now my secondary, let me switch it back. My secondary, guys, is the Harmony. I rarely use this. It's all about the Pestilence. But I'm using this, again, sometimes I do switch, very rarely, but sometimes. And it's this. Perfectly in sync. Hitting an enemy grants 20% skill damage for 5 seconds. Using a skill or damage an enemy with a skill grants 20% weapon damage for 5 seconds. Damage increases are double where both buffs are active at the same time. Nice talent, in fact, it's a beautiful skill build talent. Don't really use this though, guys. I use this from time to time. But it's all about the Pestilence. That is my best in slot on this build. It really is. It's awesome. And the sidearm, again, I do not use this. I do not use this whatsoever. But it's the backup boomstick. I just like the look of it. It's beautiful. Now you can see, guys, the talent pumped up. Reloading grants 1% weapon damage for 10 seconds. And it stacks up to 25 times. I'll show you the mods. It is simply the sidekick skin. That's it. Now, if I join a group in Heroic and I matchmake, and what happens, again, you know how it is, all the directives are on, you've got no ammo, I will switch to this beautiful X45 with In Sync for the extra skill damage. Yep, you can see where I'm going now. But I like looking at the back of Boomstick. It does wonders for me. Now, the skills. The first skill is the Hive Stinger. Refill speed of 2.8 seconds, 775 damage, and you're thinking, whoa, hang on, woo, I've got 1.1 million damage. I know you have, buddy, because you have skill damage everywhere. No, I don't. I have status effects everywhere. So what will happen, the bleed duration is elevated. That means they will bleed for longer, which means potentially that bleed will pass on to another NPC, i.e. the Vile Mask. So that's, again, what I'm looking at with this build. And again, you spec in the status effects, you'll see you're just shredding the world on fire. You're blinding them, you're bleeding them, and you're burning them mofos. Check this out. Status effects all the way on this. In terms of mods, damage, stinger charges, and health. And then my primary skill is the Fire Starter. 8 ammo, 18.7 second cooldown. Again, there's hardly any skill haste other than the mods on this, so that's why it's a little bit high. 515k damage. Again, this can be higher. Of course, skill damage, song remains the same. Burn damage, 258k. The burn duration, 11 seconds. I mean, if you wanted to increase your status effects, look at a Golem Gear chest piece. With that, guys, you know that's an extra 10% status effects. If you can get one with status effects as an attribute, that's potentially an extra 20% status effects on your build as opposed to mine. Again, to make it maybe a tad stronger. In terms of mods, burn strength and ammo. Now, let's just take a look at the skill haste on the build, but again, don't worry about the weapon damage. Someone will say you're shooting marshmallows. You are shooting marshmallows, but that debuff will sing and shine on the build, and you can see it just kicks ass. So don't worry too much about your weapon damage. Of course, you'd like it a little bit higher, but beggars cannot be choosers. You cannot have everything on a build. So let's look at the skill haste. Skill haste on this build is 60.1%. Again, that is just from the mods, again, which is awesome. But again, of course, we'd like a little bit more, but it is what it is. For me, when I would look at it, I would just spec in a status effects on this build. It just pays dividends to do so. So make sure you're doing that. Now, let me just show you what I mean with this. Now, trauma. So I'm going to shoot this guy here in the chest. Now, you can see Pestilence active. He's obviously bleeding. The Vile Mask is going as well. So you've got 3 ticks there of damage. And look at that. Let's do a little bit more. Firstly, you've got the Pestilence, which is beautiful. I'm just going to reload. And again, that will keep spreading. Yeah, we know. But what I'm going to do now is just shoot this guy in the head. Now you can see the Vol mask is doing all the work. You've applied that status effect, which is awesome. And again, yeah, this is easy, I get it, but I'm just demonstrating how this works, how good it is. You've got the Pestilence. Again, you take an enemy down with Pestilence, that debuff. You know what's going to happen? It's going to spread to another enemy. Now with this, you've also got the Blind, which is awesome. Then you have the Bleed, which is awesome. And I'm not using any skills. I'm not using my Fire Starter or my Hive Stinger. I'm using my weapon, and the chest piece talent is elevating this. So you don't have to use any skills. You can just use this. This is what I like about this build. The cooldown for trauma is 30 seconds. And yeah, you can see, guys, you can see how strong it is. So let me know what you think in the comment section. Love this build. It's made my life so much easier in any content I've used so far with this build. It is crazy. Let me know in the comment section. Love to hear your thoughts. And of course, if you're new to the channel, WOO bomb, sub button, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.